Bye.
Definitely want to do more action sports deals, and I think this is a good catalyst to just getting groups together like this, and hats off to you, Jeff, for setting this up. I mean, this is just a phenomenal group of talented people, and we want to see more activity along these lines.
I totally agree that when you're doing technology investments, it's more about protecting your intellectual property. It's about trying to find new markets that haven't existed in the past, that have opportunity to scale very large. But on the consumer side, I'm also a believer that it's all about building a brand that can be a platform for several products.
The brand that has a real interest to me is one that the kids are talking about, quite frankly. And if they're talking about it, they're your best marketing tool. There's a real power there. And if they're really interested in your brand, they're going to be talking about it. And they create their own energy by itself. You don't have to have a lot of marketing dollars.
Companies that are making the most noise, the YouTubes, the Facebooks, the Twitters of the world, their technology really wasn't differentiated and ultimately wasn't even that great. It was really the brand and the connection they had built with their consumers that was what was differentiating them and what was really driving a lot of the excitement.
I would just say it's no longer about action sports. I think that word was used a long time ago. It's about youth culture. And so this is where the energy for youth culture comes from, is this sector. And so, quite frankly, it needs to continue to evolve, and it's inspired by music, art, sports, and fashion. And as those areas evolve, and the athletes and the participants and those that want to associate it with evolve, the industry will continue to grow. If it decides to stay where it is and not be rooted around where the kid is, then it's going to fade like a lot of other things. And I don't believe it will, because it continues to grow. It's because they are very open-minded. It's an open architecture type of sector.
Wow, thank you. I still can't believe I get to ride my skateboard for a living above all else. And the fact that our industries have come so far and become so much more legitimized, and when you're talking about, we were once known as extreme sports, and then it's action sports, and now, like you said, it's youth culture. Like this is youth. This is what we're doing. This is the mainstream. It's more popular than Little League, and that's real. But the fact that we've all been so passionate about it, we're the experts on it, and it's great that people are starting to listen to us about what's cool and what's happening. So I'm really honored to be here. Thanks, and I hope I can lend my expertise to my voice or whatever else here. In terms of being a pro skater, when I started pro skating, there was no money anywhere. I mean, you were battling for $150 first prize and maybe free gear and your picture in a magazine, and the skate companies were all falling by the wayside. So it wasn't really much of a money opportunity. It was just more of a passion. It was more of something that we really I love doing. And to be honest, I still love doing just as much. I would be doing all this stuff for free. But it's amazing that we get paid incredible amounts of money to do it now. I started my skateboard brand Birdhouse when skating was at its lull in the early 90s. I mean, it was about as dead as it could be. And I believed in skateboarding so much that I took a second mortgage out of my house, basically all the money I had in it, and started a skateboard brand, which seems like the most ridiculous thing to do when it's the least popular time, but I just knew that skateboarding would come around, and to establish yourself as a top brand in that time would be very easy. Like for us to buy the back cover of Trans World was simple. No one was really going for it, you know what I mean? And so we just put all of our money there and we established ourselves as one of the top brands in a time when there were very few brands, and I just knew that skateboarding would come back in. I had no idea it would be as big as it is now, but it worked. It just took some time. And
now that you're on top, what are the biggest challenges to stay there?
Well, I think the biggest challenge, definitely is keeping authenticity, staying relevant, but at the same time, trying to reach different audience, a broader audience. I think that if I had one piece of advice for anyone with a new brand, keep control of it, even if it's not the best financial decision. it's going to make you the happiest in the end, because if someone else buys your brand and takes control of it, it becomes something completely different and never what you had anticipated it to be, and something you probably will be disappointed in. And especially when it's your name. Don't let it get diluted just because maybe there's an easy way to make fast money. The fast money won't last, and it'll dilute your brand. It'll make it. You'll realize like, oh, I made money here, but I could have made long-term money, and that's really what it's about. It's about trying to keep it as your lifestyle and something that you believed in so much that you don't sell it for cheap, and try to maintain control of it. This is the future. I mean, this is youth right now. This is what's happening, and it's only growing globally. You know, we're definitely at a height of our sports in the U.S. It's still growing though. You know, like my foundation has helped to fund almost 500 skate parks now, and those are growing exponentially. There's skate parks in China. Australia's a huge market. Brazil's, you know, all the pro skaters come from Brazil now. And so it's growing, and it really is where the cool kids are. And you know, you can just see it, like they're trying to streamline skateboarding into the Olympics because they need something cool there. You know, like yeah, I mean, truly, like they need skateboarding more than skateboarding needs them. I believe they need a cool factor the way that snowboarding is in the Winter X Games. They need skateboarding in the Summer X Games, and it just shows that that's what the kids are into. I'm still skating actively and still doing a lot of exhibitions, and I'm going to keep doing that until I suck at it, and people don't want to see me do it in public anymore. But other than that, to really grow, like I said, to grow our brands more globally, because they are very, very U.S. focused right now. And I feel like there's so much opportunity in Europe and in Asia. No, I'm good.
Thanks very much, Tony. Really appreciate it.